Hi, I'm Dan Schmitt. I do a motorcycle racing TV show, Team Chicago Challenge. My email is teamdan45@gmail.com. My website is teamchicago.tv. Route 66 Raceway. We're in Joliet, Illinois. This track was supposed to have been not being used, and now NHRA came in and they've sold out, it looks like. One side is totally sold out. Probably 20,000 people out here. I hope this encourages them to come back every year to NHRA to Route 66. So we're here for the Mountain Motor Pro Stock cars, and I'm also going to cover the Pro Stock motorcycles. So I'm going to talk to some of the drivers with the cars, and I'm going to talk to some of the motorcycle people. And I think I'm going to put together a couple of great shows from Route 66. And don't forget my email, teamdan45@gmail.com. A great number of fans came to Route 66 for this NHRA, National Hot Rod Association National Drag Race. First time in Chicagoland in a good number of years. And over in the pits, we're listening to Dennis Firkus's Cobalt, Chevy Cobalt, Mountain Motor, Pro Stock car running. Dennis has made 2 qualifying runs. There's one more qualifying run today. They changed the carburetors. They're looking for 0.10 of a second. That's what Dennis needs to qualify. Only 8 cars make the program. There's 11 cars entered in the Mountain Motor Pro Stock class. It is intense work in this pit, and we're going to head over by the Morton Brothers pit, also running Mountain Motor Pro Stock. And I had a chance to talk to Elijah and Glen Morton. They tell us about their racing careers.
Hello, my name is Elijah Morton, and this is my brother Glen. We've been asked how we got in drag racing, and maybe I should let my brother Glen answer that question since he might not quite agree with me. Brother, how did we get in drag racing?
And drag racing has been a part of my life ever since I was young. I drag raced or raced everything I ever owned.
Starting with bicycles?
Bicycles, tricycles,
Motorcycles,
four-wheelers, street cars. And then I started drag racing with a Chevy 2 Nova in 1970.
And a 350 horse,
327, 275 horses. And I did that for about 20 years, and then I decided to go fishing for a little while. And later on some guy brought, his name was Robert, brought a car, Mustang, over to his house to keep it or for him to buy it. And well, Elijah didn't know that you couldn't go out on the paved road with dirt on it and throttle it all the way to the bottom because it'll blow it up. So the man come got his Mustang and brought back a Vega with a big block Chevy in it. And started racing with it some. And it was dangerous. I drove it. I told him no more. You can't drive it no more. It's an accident looking for somewhere to happen. So I set out to hunt him a car, and I bought him. Went and picked him up a 63 Corvette split window from Nebraska. Tube chassis. And that thing was bad to the bone. The first race he ever went to in a national event in Bradenton, Florida, that boy won it. Outrun 4 world champions to win it, but he won it. And he led for the championship that year all the way up to the very end got put out one race early, and it cost him the championship. But he's done good. I've been training him a little bit, but sometimes he's hard-headed.
Oh my!
But he'll get it. He's got it. He'll get it better.
So tell me about the mountain motor.
Oh man, we rode the '63 Corvette there for a couple of years, and it was a successful, like he said. And we were in quite a few finals, and we were right there at the end in the championship hunt. But a 1000th red got me in the second round, so we had to. We didn't win that year, but anyway, we decided to go ahead and go pro stock racing. We've seen a lot of people there running pro stock, and Bob Yoke's car was available in year 2000. He won the championship that year. So we bought his trailer, car, motors, and all. And he didn't sell me his truck. I took one of my trucks. I was in the trucking business at the time. And I went and got my old Mack and hooked up to the front of the trailer and brought it to the house. And then I went and found me a Pete. And we've had his trailer and truck ever since 2000. And then we got to look in a motor man that would be just in our wheelhouse. And we found Mike Allen in Tennessee. And he's done great from the ground up and built some good horsepower mountain motor pro stock. We like running motors with no additives, just all horsepower in it.
So you're carbureted also?
Carbureted all, yeah, carbureted. Yep.
No automatic trans?
No, we're running a Linko.
And carbureted, or you can run supercharged?
All we run is carburetors or fuel injected.
Fuel injected.
Yep, that's it.
That's it.
Yep.
So, shop, you guys got a shop when you work on cars?
Yeah, we have one to the house that we mostly stored, and we do a little bit of work. Most of the engine work gets done in Tennessee, Mike Allen.
So where you guys work on?
We work at Jacksonville, North Carolina.
Okay. And what is PDRA then?
That's another sanction that we run in.
There's two different series. So the mountain motor runs that PDRA and NASCAR.
And NHRA.
Right. So what do you think about this track and how you can do this weekend?
Oh, this track is awesome. We run a great number the first run, and we were sitting on the pole there, but we got bumped down by a couple little numbers.
Right.
But we got it. We got what it takes. We got a good car, got a good crew, and we're looking to do good. We just got to do our job. We have a car that will win, but it takes the whole team and the driver together to win. So.
Right.
So we've been in 7 finals in the last few weeks, or last year and this year, and we've had the bridesmaid 7 times. So we're looking for the win, and I'm ready to get rid of the bridesmaid and get the wife. So we're looking to do good. And Speedy come by a while ago. He said, "I'm getting to be known for getting to the finals and losing."
Right.
I said, "We got to change that."
Right.
Hold on, we'll try to change that. So this could be the day, this could be the week, but always the hardest getting by the first round. Got a lot of tough competition out here, no doubt, and it's not an easy task to get to the finals, and it's not easy to get by any rounds. So just got to do our job and pray for a little luck along the way, and we'll see if we can see you in the winner's circle.
Thank you, Elijah and Glen. Now we're looking at some vintage race cars that came out. This is Arnie the Farmer Beswick's GTO. Local hero, so many Pontiac GTOs because his car was so fast. Now we're looking at a 57 Slingshot dragster with a 283 Chevy engine. Right next to it, we spot this Chrysler Hemi engine dragster, front engine, probably in the 1960s into the 1970s, a twin engine, 2 Hemis, rear engine, moving the driver up to the front. I look down in there and it looks like the 2 crankshafts are connected together. You'll notice that the slicks are growing a little bit every year. Now we got another rear-driven dragster, Hemi engine. Great looking cars, priceless pieces of history. Folks that ran NHRA Nationals. This one has got a, looks like a Ford sedan body on it. A little tight in there. And now we're heading over for the last qualifying session. This is my good friend Dennis Firkus. He owns Done-Rite on Elston Avenue in Chicago. He's sponsored by a foreign and domestic alternators and starters. He needs to make up 10 to 12 to 13 hundredths of a second to make it into the program. He was in the top 8 with the first qualifying. Everybody got a little faster during the second qualifying. Now we're looking at Brad Waddell's Innovator West Mustang. Next we're looking at the Featherlight Battery driven by Johnny Pacino at the Mustang. We got Alan Drinkwater's IronListing.com Mustang and Erica Evers' Elite Motorsport Camaro. And finally, we get a chance to look at the Mustang of the Morton Brothers Racing from North Carolina. And this is Dennis's third qualifying shot, the solo run. Let's see how he does. Mountain Motors, cars that can run up to 830 cubic inches. Dennis runs a 638 at 219 miles per hour. I don't think Dennis is going to be in the program at Joliet Mountain Motor NHRA Championship. It looks like he's 10 to 12 hundredths of a second shy. Now we're going to watch the qualifying for Elijah Morton against Drinkwater and at IronListing.com Mustang. 2 Mustangs, quarter mile. It is Elijah going 625 at 225 miles per hour. Drinkwater went 629, 222 miles per hour. And they both are in the program. Back in the pits, we spot this Top Fuel drag bike. So this is a Top Fuel bike?
Yes, sir.
Tell me a little bit about it.
It's an inline 4-cylinder, 1500 cc, blown nitro. Weighs about 1,200 pounds. Goes 5.5 seconds, 268 miles an hour.
This Top Fuel drag bike is owned by Larry Spiderman McBride, 18 times champ. I know I remember talking to him many years ago. Probably the first time he won his championship, and I probably talked to him at one of the Chicago motorcycle shows. As we see Spider-Man head into the starting line, but I did not capture any of his runs. But I did cover the pro stock motorcycles. We are watching one of the qualifying runs. We've got Hector Arana in the far lane up against Mark Inverson in the near lane. Hector Arana goes 200 miles per hour at 679. And I had a chance to talk to this great rider. Let's head to the pits and talk to this pro stock motorcycle racer as he tells us about the Buell engine and his sponsors.
Hector Arana Jr. here, I'm gonna give you a little rundown on how we go so fast. So to start off, we're running a Buell. So it's a, I forget the model. It's a Hammerhead 1190 Buell. They changed the name. It was a EBR RX 1190. Now it's a Buell. So it's back to Buell Hammerhead 1190. And to start off, it's a 160 cubic inch V-twin, and it's a short stroke, big bore. Our pistons are 5-inch 1/8, so really big pistons, and everything's super light, and we're able to spin the motor 10,000 RPMs. We do all our own engine work in-house, a lot of head porting, engine dynoing, cam work. I mean, you name it, we do it all. And it takes every little bit, and it takes nothing but precision in order to be able to run these speeds and run the ET. Currently, my best ET is a 674. My best speed's 203 miles an hour. So we're running really fast. We're winding them out, and we're out here just trying to always consistently improve. So hopefully we can improve our ET this weekend and get even lower than the 674. We're really close. We ran a 675, and I think we can get there.
So how are you looking in the program right now?
In the program right now, I'm sitting third. So we made a solid pass last night. We made a decent pass today. We're making a little bit of a transmission change right now to try to get a hold of the track a little better and control the tire. And we'll see what happens.
All right, sponsor, who's giving you help?
So I wouldn't be out here if it wasn't for Getrix. Getrix came on board after we won the Dallas race last year. We had a handshake deal. He said, I want to see you come out to more races. So we went to Vegas and Pomona, and just great family, great group of guys. And from there on, we just stayed in touch, and then they said, let's go racing next year. So here we are, and we're racing. So if it wasn't for Getrix Global Technologies, we wouldn't be here. So thank you guys for everything.
So you do all the work in the shop. So what do you shop? You work on motorcycles too, or?
It's strictly our drag bikes. We don't do anything else for any outside work. We just work on our program.
And how long have you been into this?
So I was fortunate. I was born into this. So my dad was racing before I was ever racing. So I've been involved with drag racing since I was born, and I first started racing professionally in 2011. So going on 13 years racing full time as a pro.
As a pro.
Yes.
So what was your first bike you raced?
So I started off just riding dirt, bicycles and then dirt bikes,
right,
and got all the fundamentals and the skills from riding motocross and dirt bikes. I always tell everybody, if they're getting into the sport or they're just learning how to want to ride a street bike or anything, if you ride a dirt bike, you learn how to handle if your front end sliding out, back end sliding out, what to do, because when you're off road, you have to learn all those. So when you get all those skills, you can ride any bike.
You believe like I do, that you start out on a dirt bike and up from there.
Oh yeah.
Because it's easier to fall down in the dirt.
Oh yeah, dirt's a little more forgiving than pavement for sure, but it gives you really good skills.
Right. Okay, so what do you think you're gonna do here this weekend?
So far our best run this weekend, we ran a 675 with a 9 at 201. So looking to, my goal is if I can get into the 60s, that'd be awesome. So if I could run a 69, 202, 203, it'd be one hell of a pass.
But most people would think the 4 cylinders have an advantage.
So right now the 4 cylinders do have advantage. So right now we're 2 valves per cylinder, where they're 4 valves per cylinder. So they're able to maximize that bore. Yes, we're only 2 valves per cylinder, so they're able to get more air, into the combustion chamber and have, the engine's more efficient. So they're able to maximize every cubic inch, where we're restricted. We have 1 intake valve and 1 exhaust valve. I can only get so much air through that. Thank you.
Thank you, Hector. Now let's look at some of the action. Pro stock motorcycles. In the near lane, it's Gage Herrera. In the far lane, it's Ron Pronoun. As they stage, it is Gage Herrera turning a 670 at 200 miles an hour, 0.17. moves on to the second stage. Now we're looking at Eddie Kravik. He's up against Ayana Aversito. As they stage, a tight run, but picking up the win, it is Eddie Kravik. He turns 675 and goes 201 miles per hour. Pro Stock Motorcycles, Route 66, Joliet, Illinois. And now we're looking at Hector Arana up against John Hall. Hector's in the far lane, John Hall's in the near lane. Hector with the Buell goes 678 at 201 mile per hour. John Hall is 688 at 195. So in Pro Stock Motorcycles, Hector beat Matt Schmitt in the second round, but Hector got beat by Chip Ellis in the third round. And in the final, Chip Ellis got beat by Gage Herrera in the final round. And now we're looking at the 4 qualifying elimination runs, Pro Stock, Mountain Motor, Pro Stock cars. It is Elijah Morton in the near lane, Brad Waddles in the far lane. Elijah Morton goes 627 at 225 miles an hour and wins this match. He will move on. Next matchup, we got Tony Gillip from Huntley, Illinois up against Erica Enders in that Elite Motorsport Camaro. Erica Enders wins this match race. Tony Gillip had a problem, but she only went 833 at 112 miles per hour. She is moving on to the semifinals. Next up, it's Johnny Puccino with the Mustang in the far lane, Featherlight Batteries in the near lane. It is Richard Freeman from Oklahoma with the Camaro, Elite Motorsports. Freeman takes the win at 622 at 226 miles per hour. Puccino turns a 630 at 222. And the fourth matchup, the final matchup for Mountain Motor, Pro Stock. In the near lane is John Montecalvo. He's got that Roy Hill drag racing school Mustang. And the far lane, it is Alan Drinkwater from Florida with the Mustang. Got that ironlisting.com. Picking up the win, it is Montecalvo with the Mustang, turning 628 at 223 miles per hour to a 633 at 222. With 4 cars left in the show, Montecalvo beat Elijah Morton by turning a 627. Freeman beat Enders by turning 674. And in the final round, it was Freeman picking up the Mountain Motor Championship with a 626 over Montecalvo's 627. A huge crowd at Route 66 in Joliet, NHRA National. Let's wrap up this show. My good friend TJ Zillow running Top Fuel, won the first round, beating Mike Salinas. In the second round, he beat Leah Cronet, but in the third round, TJ Zizzo lost to John Hart, and in the final, Clay Millenkamp beat John Hart with a 3.801, going 328 miles per hour. In funny car, as we see John Force backing up into staging, in the first round, John Force made a solo run, beating Mike McIntyre, who did not start. In the second round, John beat Robert Height. In the third round, it was Tim Wickerson who beat John Force. And in the final round, it was Tim Wickerson who beat Ron Kapp and became the funny car champ at Route 66. And for more information on the National Hot Rod Association, it's NHRA.com. Again, it's NHRA.com. And a special thanks to Sunoco, Pep Boys, and NHRA for the wonderful Jumbotron. I could not have done this show without that action footage from the Jumbotron. To contact me, and I'd love to hear from my audience, it's teamdan45@gmail.com. And remember, you can always search on YouTube with Dan Schmitt Motorcycle Racing for great motorcycle racing action. And I highly encourage you to visit the World of Motorcycle Museum. They're in Winamac, Indiana, 4 miles south of North Judson on Indiana Highway 39. Now give them a call first at 574-896-3172. It's a great trip and a great collection of motorcycles.